Today, I will be welcoming some people here. They are gurus. They've paid their dues in the industry, and they are coming here to share their experiences. Let me say a few things before I call them here. I joined the travels and tourism industry about 20 years ago, June 2004 to be precise. I came into it by accident. What do I mean by this? I only wanted to change the job I was doing because I got frustrated. And I saw an opening, I applied, and I got employed. Now, working as a travel agent, I was dealing with the eyes and the mighty. The state House of Assembly members would come into our office then at Adamasimba, where I was working with my boss, and dignitaries were coming. Then I said, oh, this is a path to take, and I've not looked back afterwards. I've been able to attend many conferences outside the country. I've been able to attend conferences here in Nigeria as well, and it keeps getting better. In 2021, I became one of the top tourism personalities in Nigeria, and I started visiting tourist attractions. I went to see the commissioner that just left. Then I discussed the potentials of tourism in Oyo State. I was very passionate. I am still passionate. And I can tell you we have over 200 destinations in Oyo State. I've visited about 50, and I'm still going to resume because I stopped for a while. Today, I'm going to welcome some people here to discuss the potentials in tourism. And if you are still considering coming into this profession, take your paper and note so that you learn from the wealth of experiences of the people I'm calling on board. Please, let's welcome to this panel Mr. Kenneth Odua ANATE, Director of Studies, State Up Aviation Institute of Technology. You're welcome, sir. Ironically, one of his students worked with me some time ago. I still told him, thank you for all you do. You're welcome. Let's welcome Ms. KARAMAT AJALA, Director, Institute for Information, Arts and Culture Development in Nigeria and American Corner, Ibadan. You're welcome. Please have your seat. To my very own Oga, is the President of SKAL International, Ibadan, Dr. OLATOKUNBO, John Dagunduro. Please, let's appreciate him. I'm all the way from Badagry. We have in the house ANAGO, OSHO. Sometimes I see the president of Spain, of other countries coming in. I see some dignitaries, and it takes them on a tour of Lagos and some other places. Thank you for all you do. You're welcome, sir. Please have your seat. Please, let's appreciate the panelists. Today we have the students. I think they are from Stay Hub. Please clap for yourselves. I love your uniform, and you are our future. When I see you, I see hope. I see what can be. And everybody that has spoken here as in one way or the other spoken about the potentials that are here. And all my panelists this afternoon are still going to share from their wealth of knowledge the potentials in this career path that you have chosen. And if we have people in this hall that are still looking at the tourism industry, what are the potentials, what are the opportunities, please sit and relax so that you can listen to our panelists. So, Mr. Kenneth, you're welcome, sir. Can you share your experiences? How come Stay Up Aviation? What brought you into it? and what are the potentials in the career that made you open a tourism school where people can learn about tourism? Thank you.
Thank you very much, moderator. All protocol duly observed. My name once again, Kenneth ANATE OUDAH. I graduated from Nigeria College of Aviation, Zaria, and I did professional pilot grant school there before I moved to American School of Aviation in California, where I had my commercial pilot license. I was opportuned to work briefly with Nigerian Airways of a blessed memory, and 2004, when Nigerian Airways finally, I had to move to a company called Wings Aviation. It was at Wings Aviation I started seeing tourism the way it is. And because at Wings Aviation, in 2005, I was made to supervise the operation department, and the company actually was into charter, the charter airline, and that actually gave me an insight to what tourism should be. And there were a lot of problems we encountered as a Nigerian around that time, the likes of Bellevue crash, Sosoliso, Bristol helicopters, AOS helicopters, and the rest of them. So that actually propelled me and some other guys in the industry to see to how to cope these air disasters around that time. We had a meeting in Australia, and the outcome of the meeting was just to set up a school that would train people, especially the ground staff, on how to best manage airline and its operation. Though it didn't last, because Nigerian, was given an award of the most corrupt country that year. Wow. So the cooperation didn't actually last. Then we came to Nigeria and we had to establish a school, Stay Up Aviation Institute of Technology in Lagos, number 63, 63A of Kwebi Road, Salvation Bus Stop, Lagos. Then we were only recruiting cadet pilots, training them briefly, then we send them abroad for proper training. Then a lot of people started calling from tourism, from airline ticketing offices, and the rest of them. So I personally had to go back to school. I went to TNT travel school in Philippines, where I badged an instructor rating in tourism and travel. Then coming back to Nigeria, we had to set up a particular place where people can actually train and practicalize what they are trained. And we realized that Lagos is not actually conducive because of the business of the airspace. The airspace is too busy, so we had to just come to Ibadan, where the airspace is less busy, to establish the school. However, the best way to become a travel expert, or to go into tourism and tour, or to work there, is not just by having interest. It's not just by the money, because all this speech here today, you may just go ahead and just go and start something, or representing yourself or a community in a wrong way. There should be a proper education, proper planning. You are supposed to know how to cut your coins, even in the industry. You are supposed to know the technical know-how. You're supposed to know the jargons that are used, what is obtainable, how to do it, and how to do it well. So that is what Stay Up Aviation stands for, actually. We don't only train people on professional pilot grant school or flight dispatch. We also train people on tourism and every courses that has to do with it. Tourism on its own, it's actually like an umbrella that that covers every other aspect of whatever thing we can think of, because the origin of tourism is by a great guy who came from another place and paid a visit to this earth. He was hovering upon the surface of the water. He couldn't land that time, and in his mightiness he said, "Let there be light," and there was light. So since then, this world he visited has changed, and a lot of things has happened, development, and that is what tourism can actually do if we get it very well, if we are trained the way we are supposed to train. Tourism involves moving from your home of domicile to a particular place for a particular purpose within a particular time. That's what tourism is. And when you look at it very well, that is just what our lives is built upon, because the general characteristics of living things, the first one is movement, and you have to move from one place for a purpose. The purpose may be medically inclined, could be education inclined, could be business, could be anything. So that's just what tourism is, the umbrella that just covers every other aspect of our lives.
Thank you, Mr. Kenneth. Now, do you have success stories? Can you share one or two experiences with us here?
Yes. In the year 2012, we got to Ibadan 2009. In 2012, our school badged an accreditation from United States, from International Accreditation Organization. We were the first to get that accreditation in Africa. With that accreditation, our results is not only recognized within the, our certificate, permit me, is not only recognized within the sphere of Nigeria, but all over the world. We also have success story regarding our students, who we by the grace of God, we have graduated close to 2,000 students, about 1,005 in tourism-related courses, and about 400 and maybe 80 in airline, airport, and all other related courses. And many of our graduation today, our graduates today, you see them everywhere on social media doing exploit. The likes of the Bolaji Sheung was our student.
I think he's here.
Okay.
Yeah, please stand up for recognition. Let's give him a round of applause.
They are doing very well in tourism.
He's the #1. He founded Niger Explorer and is #1 top operator in Nigeria. Let's appreciate him.
Okay. Thank you. And Kingsley Uzo was also a student of State of Aviation. I'm not sure he's there, but he's one of the he's one of the co-founder of Nigeria Lovers, Nigeria Tourism Lovers. We have Jide Omotosho. He now owns and operates X Delivery Services, which is a courier services in Ibadan here. We have Oluwaleye Oluwakemi, who studied tourism with us, but moved into cabin crew, cabin attendant. But now she's in South Africa studying professional pilot program. Fokefoluwa Adeoye, she's presently a flight dispatcher at XJet in Lagos. Mercy Adedogun, she's a presenter presently at Honors FM, and the rest of them because of time.
Thank you. I never knew Bolaji Sheung attended the school, but he has done very well. Even, is it Kenneth?
Yes.
Kenneth too.
Kingsley.
We've done a lot of things together. I remember the day I visited OUDAH, that Cocoa House.
Cocoa House, okay.
There is a museum upstairs. The day we went, I went with Shembolaji, and I visited a couple of places with them. They are young, they are vibrant, they are passionate, and you see them running every day and night, walking and bringing a lot of values to tourism industry. Please, let's appreciate them. Now to Miss Karamat Ajala. Yeah, I would like to just have a brief overview of your center, what you stand for, and what you do for your students. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. Again, my name is Karamat Ajala, and I'm the director of the Initiative for Information, Art, and Culture Development in Nigeria and the American Corner, and I'm also the advisor at the Education USA in Ibadan. So American Corner is a library and a resource center under the auspices of the US Embassy, and also under the auspices of IACD. And every American Corner in Nigeria has an host institution. And as I said, IACD is in partnership with American Corner. So necessarily means that...
Please, what does IACD mean?
Initiative for Information, Art, and Culture Development in Nigeria. So it necessarily means that anything that is happening at the American Corner is in partnership with IACD. And every American Corner, we have 24 American Corner locations in Nigeria, and we have 24 American Corners in Nigeria in 21 locations in Nigeria. So all of them has a host institution, and the host institution can be a library, it can be an hospital, it can be a university or polytechnic. So as to your question, so what we do at the American Corner stroke IACD is to allow or prompt youth to showcase their talents, or the general public to showcase their talents through educational programs, through lectures, through books, exhibitions, book launches, book reviews, sometimes film, discussion and viewing rather. So we had so many. I'm not sure here in Ibadan or in our jurisdiction or region here, I'm not sure there is no school that has not been to our space.
Wow.
Yeah, so every school in Ibadan, we make sure we get to those schools. And I'm very sure some of us have been here. I can see Mr. Obilo here, so he has been at our space severally. So if you have not been at our space, I won't say you are wrong, but I think you should, come to our space. So what we do for the youth or the general public, one of the tenets of American Corner, we have series of tenets. We have English language learning because it's American Corner. So what we do at American Corner is not to come and impose the American culture. It's just to create an openness, to make you understand that, okay, Nigeria, we have Nigeria that has a rich cultures, tradition, and whatnot. But we also have a particular country like America that has different series of cultures that you can imbibe or internalize. Like, for example, I know one thing about Nigeria. We are doing well, but when it comes to book reading, we have to up our games. So if you want to learn things, you have to keep reading. You have to keep, keep reading, keep being a part of workshops, skill acquisition programs and whatnot. So that is what we do. We also commemorate the international days that we have. Tomorrow we are hosting in partnership with Oyo State, we are hosting World Copyright Day, which is tomorrow. And also, given, as I said, one of the tenets of American Corner is Education USA. So Education USA is a department or state-supported network of over 428, locations in 170 countries. And what we do is to provide comprehensive, accurate, and up-to-date information about studying in the US colleges and universities. So we have the 5 steps to study in the US, which I don't necessarily have to, explain in bite sizes. But one of them is researching your options. I know we have agents here in Ibadan. I know that agents that will help you with JAPA. I know everybody wants to JAPA. I know at the back of our mind wants to JAPA. But the fact still remains that why do you want to JAPA if you have what it takes to go to the US? Because one thing I've had so many people, have been at my space, and one thing they say is, I'm going to the UK, I beg, I don't want to. US has denied me visa 3 times. The question is, what have you done wrong? Because I keep asking that question. What exactly have you done wrong? Why don't you want to go to the US? And I've seen so many people came to our space and they've graduated as a good student of Alabama University now in the US, Harvard University. We have so many students in the US studying and doing well. So I think, as I said, because I think I'm going out of the question that you asked me. So as I said, one of the tools or tenets of American Corner is to showcase, to help students understand that there are stages to study in the US. And we are there to guide you through those stages to study in the US.
Are they so short that you can briefly tell us? Because everybody wants to know that.
Okay, you mean
the stages? Maybe
okay, first of all, you have to research your options. So I would, I'm not trying to yab, you know, the agents here. So we have agents that I can beat my chest even before I start working at the American space. I can beat my chest that they are doing well, helping you to travel and all. But one of the reasons why so many people have been rejected at the embassy by the visa officer is because you didn't go through the processes yourselves. So what you do is you call Mr. whatever of who is an agent, sir. Where are you now? How much am I supposed to pay? You don't want to care how the processes went about. But what you care about is, should I pay more money? What do we have? What is the outstanding? What is our outstanding debt? And to the extent they will give you the visa, and you say, okay, sorry, the visa date, and they will tell you to go to the embassy to go and collect your visa. And when on getting to the visa, you know, interviewer, they'll ask you some questions, and you will be dumb. You will not know what to say because you didn't do it yourself. So what we do is not to tell you what to do. We guide you if you are making a mistake or you're going through a very wrong path. We guide you. So we've had. I'm going to McPherson University 2 days time, and I'm going to be, you know, sensitizing the, you know, undergrad, the people that are already close to graduating, to tell them about Education USA. So researching your options, we have, after you've researched your options, then that's when you ask yourself, I have so many schools. I know people want to go to Harvard. I know most of us have heard of Harvard. Do you know how much energy you put into Harvard to get to that school? Do you know how much money? Because it's a private school and it's an Ivy League school, just like UI, OAU, and Unilag in Nigeria. So you have to put a whole lot of effort. So some people want to go to Harvard and they'll be spending more than $50,000 to go to Harvard. But the question is, the reason why people run away is because they feel that, because it's expensive, and when London is 2 people, 10 million naira, so why should I be waiting 50 million naira? Because it necessarily means that you don't necessarily have to pay 50 million naira to go to Harvard. If you have what it takes, if you have a very good result, as an undergrad, or you have a good statement of purpose, you have a good recommendation letter, a good transcript, you are doing well, this is where you blow your trumpet and tell the Harvard school and tell them that, see, I've done this, I've done that. I've been a part of CDS and I'm doing well in the society where I am in. I have a friend, her name is KARAMAT, Odebody. KARAMAT is now in Harvard. And I remember one time we had a conversation and she said, okay, how she wants to go about it. And I told her that, well, this is where you blow your trumpet. You are doing well in Nigeria. Make them understand that this is what you have done. What can they do in return? And now she's in Harvard doing well and she's projecting her knowledge of what she has learned in Nigeria. So we have researching your options. We talk about how much do you want to pay. So though you've already given them what you have, their job is to return to you. It's going to be a quid pro quo. I'm giving you my results and you are giving me something else by cutting maybe half or to the littlest amount of money that, you know,
are there sponsorship options? Yes,
as I said, we don't sponsor, but what we do is to, during the processes, you tell the school, as I said, you tell the schools that, okay, I have all it takes. The school has given you the prerequisites to enter the school. So what do you need? Go through the prerequisites. If they need for people that just graduated from their high school, you need to tell them that I have 10 A's in my results. I have a good recommendation letter. I wrote a very enthusing essay. They will say, the school will look at the result and say, no, we need this school, we need this student. They will cut it, they will slash it to the littlest amount. They can even throw a plane ticket for you. That is the scholarship. So every school in the US, at a point or another, cuts some kind of funding for you so that you can have a smooth route in the school.
Thank you so much. I hope this has been helpful. Some of us that are seated here are wondering, I would like to study abroad, I would like to go to the US. These are some of the steps. Thanks so much for that insightful talk. Now to the SKAL president, of Oyo State, Dr. OLATOKUNBO John Dagunduro, the President SKAL International Ibadan Club. You are welcome.
Thank you very much.
He's my guy in the industry. I met him, and he has done so much. He was once our vice president in the western zone of Nigeria, NANTA, National Association of Nigerian Travel Agents. Today he's seated here. We would like to learn from your wealth of experience. Why are you still in this industry? What are the potentials that are there? What are the challenges as well? COVID came, a lot of things have come in the past, but we are still here and you are still here. So we would like to learn from you.
Okay, thank you very much. I want to say good afternoon once again, and to everybody seated, all protocols daily observed. Why people like us are still here, this is just my 24th year in the travel industry. And I have senior colleagues who are 35, 40. It's a simple analysis. The last means of business that will cease to exist on earth is travel and tourism, transportation. And this is affirmed from the biblical knowledge we have. Rapture is a means of transportation, and that will be the last thing that will happen. So it has not happened. People like us will still retire, though not tired in this. Besides, after working and leaving the banking sector and won't delve into this, the passion is there. So the urge is there. So I started as a young person after leaving the banking industry. I worked in a travel agency with my Ogaden as an accountant. And then from there, I left. I had to come back and work as head of marketing for the same company, because the company backed the preferred sales agent for Kenya Airways. So, and over time, we begin to gather knowledge. But one thing I see that is very, very sacrosanct about this industry, and which I want to tell to the young ones here, because you are the future of this industry. I recollect vividly year 2000 precisely at Lafia Hotel. There was a SKAL event. And the industry guru in Nigeria, or let me say in West Africa, Femi Adefoogbe, said, I was dragged out of the meeting. As I called that young man back, these are the future of the industry. I will never forget. So it has given me that leverage to encourage the youths. And where I'm going is this. The first thing you need to do, you have to be passionate to learn. You have to be passionate to become a core professional. There is a distinction for goods you want to sell and you want to render service. As far as tourism is concerned, all you want to do is to render services. You are more or less like a legal practitioner, a medical practitioner, or an engineer. You don't sell a product. Like I want to sell a phone. I want to sell service, which is unforeseen. Now, the best way to do it is to ensure you are equipped as a thorough professional. And that's by going for training and retraining, refresher courses. This will single you out and bring out the best in you. So, it is a way to encourage those seated here. Just like when my sister was talking, that we are people that doesn't read. And I want to believe this generation will need to begin to change that narration. Even for me, I tell my kids at home, I said, what they said that day I read today, I said, I don't want to hear the word I read. There's a distinction between reading and studying. I always prefer young ones to study. Because when you study, even the Bible says study to show yourself approved. That's what Paul says. So there is a difference between you reading and studying. You are at a level you need to study to equip yourself for the future. Obafemi Awolowo said, education is a state of informing the mind and developing the mental culture. So it's not about the classroom mentality alone. Your exposure your experience. All these things are what you need to garrison yourself for the task ahead. If you want to be called a thorough professional, I do use these 2-3 analyses. I'm sorry I will mention name. Some of us know Afe Babalola Chambers as a legal practitioner. Hardly have anybody seen Afe Babalola on any media doing adverts. But referral have been the source of income, courtesy of professionalism of the lawyers employed by that chamber. The second one is University College Hospital, UCH. UCH doesn't do any adverts. And as I speak now, there is a traffic to UCH. If you want to doubt me, go to the emergency. Why? There is a mental picture that capable medical hands are rooted in UCH. Why? We believe they are thorough professionals. So as travel experts, tourism experts, the first thing you need to do is to ensure you become a thorough person. You have to be trained, you have to practicalize, you have to experience, you have to get exposure. So by doing that, I can tell you that you begin to get passion, and sky will not be your limit but the starting point. Having said that, another reason we are still in business or in the industry and where we remain, travel and tourism has been our bread and butter. For me, that's my source of livelihood. I don't have any other thing I do. Any form of tourism you want to talk about. For few people who know me, way back 2000, 2001, my suits are one of the best in town. But I come to a stage, how can I be promoting culture? And I'm sending the wrong signal out. And I say, okay, I need to change the narrative. Let's evolve. Dress culture is one of it. And if as a country we are rooted with so many things, which we have not really tapped into, and the reason why we will not retire, we will still engage and occupy the government to do more. Oyo State as a case study, as sincerely, I'm saying this without remorse, as sincerely at least open up the tourism sector. Maybe we are having Ministry of Tourism standing tall and alone. And we clamor. There were times then in those days, then commissioners we call for our head when we say separate information from culture and tourism. Until then we are still clamoring. Marry aviation with tourism. Without tourism, aviation is nowhere to be found. Who is flying destinations without the tourist destinations? So we will continue to keep so that the government could give the sector the enabling environment to ensure that truly this sector at its rightful position. Another thing why we will not stop, somebody like me and a lot of colleagues seated here, is until the government listens to us and see tourism as a sincere source of revenue for us. South Africa doesn't joke with tourism. Same with Gambia, same with Ethiopia, Rwanda lately. So if we don't shy our eyes away from this crude, unfortunately now subsidy is gone, as pronounced by the president. The only palliative for this nation is tourism. The only palliative that will last generations is tourism. And until we harness it fully, seated here now, I don't think we have enough government officials seated, except for some parastatals. And these are critical issues. We need to take home some points and work on them. Like I said, this present government in Oyo State has opened up. But we believe the government can do more for this sector. And I'll put two challenges to this government. Media people away can also blow this open. Let us ensure we encourage or imbibe, maybe through the House of Assembly, tourism as a curriculum in our syllabus in the schools. We have pushed it and we said we need to engage the Ministry of Education so that we begin to catch our youths right from the tender age. The second one is history. There is a need to ensure, because if you truly want tourism to strive. Without the knowledge, Prof made a lot of reference to Oyo. Adibin history has not been wiped, which I think is gradually coming back, but not genuinely. Until history is restored back to our educational system, we are joking. We are sincerely joking. If you look at the adverse effect of what I'm saying, courtesy of cultural tourism, you will see a lot of our youths now on dread. A lot of them sag Yorubas, and it is quite annoying, it is quite disheartening that this is happening, and it's because we are taking a lot away from us. What stops us mandating Yoruba language as a core subject? Our own language optional, and we make English language very, very mandatory, which a Frenchman or a Chinese man will never do until we begin to face these realities. And those who can do that for us is the government, for the masses and the stakeholders to leverage on. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Let's give him a round of applause. Lastly, we are going to Mr. ANAGO OSHO. You are welcome, sir. It's nice seeing you. I've seen so many things you have done. Well done. Today we want you to share some wonderful moments. By the way, he's a tour guide, and he moves with the eyes and the mighties. When you get to Lagos, they will always mention his name because of what he has done. Today we want you to share with us from your wealth of experience how the whole thing is, the potentials that are in tour guiding. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Thank you. I am a tour guide. I am an adventurer. I am a tour guide. Come, I'll take you there. I'll take you to the north. I'll take you to the south. I'll take you to the east, west. I'll take you there. I'm a tour guide. I've been to a lot of places. My name is ANAGO OSHO. I've been to a lot of places, and today, people like to call me, no, he's a curator in a museum. Yes, I curate in the Slave Museum. They say, no, he's a tour operator. It is true. I have a tour operating company. Oh, he's an heritage and nature conservationist. It is true. I'm involved in organizations that do all that. But I want you to understand this. How did I get involved in everything I do now? If you want to get into tourism, now we have people that participate in tourism, okay? But we also have tourism professionals. It's not enough for you to organize people, you take people around, and you call yourself a tourism professional. Do you make money from it? What makes you a professional is because you are into tourism, and because it is the work you do, and you're able to take care of yourself, or your wife, children, or your family. Everywhere I've been to, I like people to identify me as a tour guide. And I'm happy today that in Nigeria and a lot of places in Africa, people are coming up and they are putting that word tour guide beside their name. But many years ago, it was not so. It was ANAGO OSHO that was going from one place to the other saying, I'm a tour guide. The mindset that people have in Nigeria for a tour guide is that a tour guide is supposed to be that person that when you go to a tourist destination or you visit an attraction site, that tour guide is the one who will help you in carrying your bag. That tour guide is an errand boy. But ANAGO OSHO was able to change that. If you want to be a tour guide, you must love books. What distinguishes ANAGO OSHO? Now, she said, is with I am mighty. You think I started today? My first experience in tourism was a bad one in 1997. I don't want to go there. That's a story for another day. But but I started making some little naira from tourism since 1998. 1998. So when she says ANAGO, you see him touring the high and mighty. Just calculate 1998 and 2024, this year that we are in. It's not a child's play. In our own time, I remember in Ebutemeta, I used to go and meet families for me to organize their kids. Let me take their children on excursion. Around that time, things have changed now. There was no social media. It was not easy. I begged them to let me take their kids on tour. But my concern is those who are interested in being a tourism professional who want to be a tour guide. A tour guide will open you up. There's no how Oyo State will become that tourism destination that we all want it to be if we don't have professional tour guides. Oyo State can sell itself, Ibadan can sell itself, but it takes a professional tour guide to sell Ibadan, to sell Oyo State. When people talk about Badagry, nobody is advertising Badagry in newspaper. But we have professional tour guides in Badagry who understand their job. And for some of us who want to be a tour guide, I want you to understand that what would distinguish you is this. Now, I've seen people who go around with visitors and they call themselves tour guide. Training is very, very important. You must be trained. There's a difference between a tour leader. I've seen people who call themselves tour guide, who were even given awards as tour guides, but all they do is lead a tour. We call them tour leader. There's a difference between a tour guide and a tour leader. There's a difference between a tour guide and a tour manager. There's a difference between a tour guide and a tour operator. There's a difference between a tour guide and a travel agent. They all offer different services. But the most important in the tourism hierarchy, for you to have a wonderful tourist destination that is known, that is active, you must have, or you must work on your tour guides, because tour guides are the ones that have access to the visitors. In Nepal, you can't be, Nepal is in Asia, you can't be a tour guide in Nepal. The basic qualification to be a tour guide in Nepal is first degree. That shows how important the government and the people of Nepal takes tour guiding. As a tour guide, the secret organizations, the security agencies in advanced countries do have meetings with tour guides. Do you know why? Tour guides are the ones who have close relationship with visitors that come into their country. So because they have been trained, so when a visitor comes into their country, they are psychologists. They know your intention, and there is a private number they can call, and they have someone they report such people that they don't think are tourists. Tour guides, to me, are the most important in the tourism hierarchy. Tour guides are ambassadors of the destination they promote. A tour guide, what makes you a tour guide is what we call area knowledge. Everywhere I've been to, when they mention my name, they always call Badagry. The reason why they call Badagry is because that is the place that most people probably met me, or they've read books about me talking about Badagry. If you want a good tour, slave history tour or cultural tour, even journalists will give you my phone number. Why? Because I know basically everything about that environment. And when I walk on the street, you see area boys shouting ANAGO. Do you know why the area boys are calling my name? They are calling my name for me to know that ANAGO, we have seen you with a tour group. So meaning that we know where we meet, so that I keep their own, you know what I mean? I keep their own envelope. And you see, the market women will see me, they call my name. The Okada rider will see me, will call my name. Because that is my...
Thank you, sir.
Now, what I'm trying to say is that that environment is my designation. What makes you a tour guide is the area knowledge. I can go to Rwanda. I take people to Rwanda. I take people to Nairobi, Kenya. But as soon as I get to those destinations with my visitors, I hand them over to tour guides. Because they have area knowledge of that environment. And you see, a tour guide will give the visitor a sense of security. Because if I take people around and everybody in the neighborhood knows me, so the visitor knows that they are with the right person. So if you lead a group to Ibadan, that doesn't make you a tour guide. You are a tour leader. Who is a tour manager? When you go on a trip, there is someone who makes sure that every tour itinerary that you're supposed to visit 4 places. It is the duty of the tour manager to make sure that you visit each of those places, and the tour manager will take care of your welfare, because the tour manager will make sure that the visitors that they are taking on tour, they eat, they drink water, and they are comfortable. To be a tour guide, you must read. You must fall in love with books. Let me tell you, many years ago, I met almighty Ambassador Walter Carrington. Around that time, he was the ambassador for Nigeria, a U.S. ambassador in Nigeria. And many people want to go to the U.S. But as a tour guide, because of my job and what he wanted, he was interested in slave history tour. And the slave history tour that I give are not just information that I've read in books. I've visited the sites where the events happened, and I'll give you information from the African perspective, not what you have read in books. So he was interested in my tour, and I got a job from Lagos State that time. But I never knew it was Ambassador Walter Carrington. I didn't know. But what I knew was that this man is a very important person. They were men with suits, with head pod, big muscular, white guys, black guys, and I know they were carrying weapons. I know it was important. But do you know what? During the course of the tour, he said, "Young man, do you know me?" I said, "No, sir." His wife was on that tour with their only child. We went to another place. He tapped me on the shoulder. He said, "Well done, well done. Do you know me?" The wife told him, and I go, "I don't know you." Where I'm going to is this. If you are dedicated in whatever you chose to be, it will take you to places, and people you watch on TV, people you read about will want to know you.
Thank you so much. It's been a fantastic session now. Here, I would like to drop a few thoughts. If you want to take this career as what you will be passionate about, please learn. Learning, unlearning, relearning, and get exposure. You can't talk about Ibadan without visiting the site. Somebody has mentioned it, our prof said it. Some of us don't even know places around us. Some of us have been seeing Mapo, but we never entered to know what is there. We have the National Museum of Unity. Some of us have not visited the places. Let us first have the knowledge of our environment, and if we choose to have a career, let's be passionate, let's get education, let's get the rightful skill, let's learn from those that have the experiences, and there is no limit to us. Thank you.